Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about something a little different today. We're talking about the finals. This game kind of dropped off the face of the planet, at least for me. I haven't really seen much about it. I haven't been paying attention to it personally. But it still has a bit of a, well, not a bit, but a large cult following. The game's doing, quite well on Steam. Hovers around the 20,000 player mark, and then, of course, more players with crossplay. And it still gets regularly updated. So I figured, okay, I keep hearing about Season 4. Let's check out Season 4. One thing I want to say before I get into the video is, remember a while back I did tease that I got offered a job at a certain place? Well, I ended up passing up on that, but today I got offered an even better job at an even better place. And to be honest, guys, this opportunity might be too awesome for me to pass up. So I just want to let you guys know there could be changes coming to the frequency of YouTube content, or perhaps the upload times of YouTube content in the future. But don't worry, I'm Enders and I'm Mr. Consistency. I will never stop uploading YouTube videos. So with that being said, let's jump right into the video. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I stream every single day on this YouTube channel and on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, first link in the description. So, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the finals kind of dropped off the face of the planet for me. More to say that I sort of lost interest in the finals, and I don't really know why. It was just sort of repetitive for me, perhaps a little boring, and it wasn't that game that grabbed me, like, oh my god, this is the game I want to play every single day. I think the finals, at least for me personally, is a game that I sort of come back to, play a little bit, and then forget about it, and then, repeat the process. And that's exactly what I'm doing with the final Season 4 coming out. So obviously with the new season, there are a bunch of new things. There are new weapons, there are some balance changes, there are new things everywhere. One of the things that really caught me off guard is you can actually put sights on weapons now. When I played when the game came out and during Season 1, you just had to suck it up and use the Lewis gun iron sights or the M60 iron sights and you just had to hit your shots. Now there are sights. This is very welcome. Now, admittedly, I did miss a lot of stuff. I didn't really play this game at all during Season 2 and Season 3, so I'm sort of just jumping in without knowing anything. One thing I will say is, they seem to have upped the cheese a lot. There's a lot of cheesy stuff in the game right now. In fact, they seem to have nerfed a lot of the quote-unquote fun things, at least in my opinion, and then added a bunch of really annoying cheesy things. Just as an example, right? The medium grenade launcher, super annoying to deal with. The heavy charge slam, that's been in the game since launch, but they nerfed the heavy shield, so now basically you're just getting bopped by heavies with sledgehammers and this crazy hook thing that might be the most frustrating thing to die to in the game, because it kind of feels like you're getting hooked by Blitzcrank in League of Legends. You just get grabbed and pulled, and then you just get killed, and yeah, doesn't really feel that great. In fact, I've been streaming the finals the past 2 days on stream, and honestly, it's been kind of frustrating. And maybe it's just because I'm tired, or maybe there's a lack of motivation, but this doesn't feel like the finals I remember. It's not as engaging or fun, which is kind of confusing. They seem to have nerfed the aspects of the game that I consider to be fun, or maybe they added things that I don't care for, which then changes the gameplay from what I was used to it being. But in terms of the gameplay, at least in my experience, it's a lot of dying to shotguns, it's a lot of shooting invisible light players, it's a lot of dying to melee, and it's a lot of dying to explosives. Getting in a straight one-on-one gunfight with someone that has a full auto weapon was honestly pretty rare. In fact, the background gameplay, which I am using for this video, is probably one of the more normal games that I experienced thus far, and this was just in Bankit. This wasn't in Ranked or in the World Tourer mode, which I honestly think is pretty cool. So, coming back to this game, there are some things that I really like, and there are some things that I obviously dislike. Now, the question is, to me at least, how is this game, I suppose, not more popular? Because when I stream this game, there seem to be a lot of people that come into my chat that play this really, really regularly. Now, it doesn't really get that much viewership. Like, in terms of Twitch viewership, people actually think it's really boring to watch. Comment down below, do you think this game is boring to watch? Because every time I stream this game, people, leave the stream or comment, oh my god, like, can you just play Battlefield already? And I think that has something to do with just the amount of action that's going on. And even for me, a player that's constantly seeking action, people seem to be bored. And I spoke about this when the finals released. I think the game naturally just has a lot of downtime, and maybe the design of the game is conflicting with how the game actually plays. I think when people sort of see this game, they kind of expect constant action, destruction happening all the time. But when you're playing ranked, sometimes you're just the team that gets left alone, and you can just get a cash out for free. And it isn't like you paid the other teams to leave you alone. It's just that happened as raw chance. And I suppose it's up to you to take the risk to leave the cash out and have it be stolen by another team to go and get a piece of the 3-team fight on the other cash out. And honestly, there's no real way to stop that from happening. It's just a side effect of how the game is designed, and it's kind of up to your team's playstyle as well. How risky do you want to play it? Because one team could get wiped and then spawn by your cash out and steal it while you're trying to take a fight. So it kind of forces you to play a certain way. That is personally why I stopped playing the finals, at least on stream. The gameplay loop itself wasn't that interesting to me. Now, does Season 4 change a lot of that? In my opinion, absolutely not. The game is, I'd say, 90% the same, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I'm not saying I don't like this game. I'm saying that I wish I could love this game. Like, I wish there was just something a little more, I guess. I wish the gameplay loop was a little different. Because if I had to be honest, this is probably the highest quality FPS game released in recent memory, besides, you know, a few other games, like maybe Delta Force when it releases is very good. And past that, I can't even name another game. And unfortunately, I think for the finals, it just sort of fell into that thing where it was trying to be the next big thing, and then it just wasn't the next big thing. And they did make some confusing decisions along the way. Like in Season 4, and maybe in some other previous seasons, when I came back to this game, I noticed that a lot of the things that were irritating are still irritating in terms of like weapons being overpowered. For instance, if you play medium, the Model 37 or whatever it's called, the shotgun is broken, but for whatever reason, they decided to nerf the revolver. It's very confusing to me because these things that are overpowered persist, then they just nerf like the AK and the Scar and the revolver. And while the Scar was definitely OP, they're kind of just nerfing a lot of the fun out of the game. Like, some of these weapons are not even worth using anymore. So, does the finals Season 4 warrant you coming back to actually play the game again? You know, maybe. There are some cool things they added, but I would generally say there isn't anything that blows me away. Like, I haven't noticed the big thing of the season, if there is a big thing. But again, at the same time, I don't want to make this video sound like I'm harping on the finals. You know, I got frustrated on stream just because of like outside of gaming things. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I think the finals is a bad game. In fact, I think it's a great game to play casually. It's a great game to play with friends. And I just think it missed the mark with being the next huge thing. So, to summarize, I think the finals is a decent game. I just think, for me personally, I'm kind of in a strange position with it, and I don't necessarily know if I'm going to continue playing it. So, I hope that you enjoyed that video. It's kind of a strange video. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate all you guys. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. As you know, I'm going to plan on covering Delta Force and obviously all the new Battlefield stuff. So, subscribe, turn notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.